dude. I'm wiped out, dude. I had to get some radio, dude. I gotta get a sandwich. Dude, I'll do it next Friday.
I'm cooked, dude. I'm cooked. Everybody's shit. Oh, dude, you see this? It's your fucking eye. I just got it. Yeah, it's better than the shit that he did. Dude, did you see this iPad, dude?
Dude, I'm playing video for 20 minutes.
You pull this iPad out, dude. You flap it like this. You flip it. You do this. Dude, he literally said to me,
fucking boom, dude.
He's describing the iPad, and he's going, this is priceless.
Did he buy one of those?
Well, he's got 2 of them. Does he use the side mirrors on his car? This little boat.
Does he still have that thing?
I really got it last year. I love it, dude. Typical Bobby buys that moped, he's going, dude, it's fucking sick. Fucking get on it, whip downtown, it's fucking great for doing spots. 3 weeks later, it literally should have just cut to a black screen that said 3 weeks later. So I gotta get rid of this fucking thing, it stinks. I said, I gotta have it. I gotta fucking deal with that. It's so funny. Bobby's impulse buying and then realizes the repercussion. So, he's telling me about the iPad, right? I go, yeah, Bobby.
Alexa, cancel timer.
Yeah, it's interesting. What do you need? Dude, they fucking break down the input. You want movies, they do emails, but that's all the shit that your computer does. Just get over your laptop. He goes, no, because this sucks. Sitting in front of a laptop, trying to read something and having to do this, and literally he's doing the motion of your finger on the mouse. He goes, it's just awful. This thing is sitting there and just fucking in the fucking camera. And I'm like, all right, I guess so. I guess it's a good idea. He goes, yeah, but there's other thing coming out for it. It's a keyboard you can plug into it.
Yeah, you know what it is? I was talking about on the radio today. It's basically like you bought a car and it doesn't have as many options. It's the top of the line. You bought the car that doesn't have power windows or air conditioning.
Alexa, cancel timer.
That's really hard to manipulate because you gotta hold the screen with one hand and type with the other. And I don't get the point. All right, fair enough, you know.
Hang on. I was saying, someone was trying to tell me that this can't be right. That people, there's so much pressure. Dude, none of these rumors stuff, but there's so much pressure for the people the factory workers who are building the iPads because the demand is so much that 12 people at the factory have killed themselves. And for like half a minute, I actually believe that. I believe it. Yeah, then I just looked it up on the internet. I looked up iPad builders kill themselves. It just said hardware vendors will kill themselves eclipsing the iPad's hardware. There's nothing in there about the
Yeah, that sounds like I remember.
Yeah. So there you go. Chop chop. You stinky dead. Fucking stinky. But this is a great thing about being friends with Bobby Kelly. Aside from the fact we're trash for life.
I love Bobby.
The great thing is that he buys all the little shit, so you get to find out what's good and what isn't. You just gotta wait for his first week of excitement to wear off, and then you get the real deal, and then when he gets sick of it, I mean, if you're gonna buy an iPad off of him for like $40.
Look, give it to me.
How much is an iPad?
$500 to $900.
I mean, what I like about him is that I actually think it's better than bringing a laptop because it's lighter. When I look at the environmental issues,
it's an awesome piece of
how many acres of the rainforest gets wiped out from each one of those guys? Remember that whole thing, like you didn't say back in the day with computers for create paperless office? Never fucking happened. It takes to make one of these fucking things. You know what I stopped doing, Joe? I stopped doing all these people asking for money because all that did was just cause 9 zillion other groups to send me junk mail. And I'm talking to dude like an acre of fucking trees were wiped out with the amount of shit that was sent to me asking for money last year to save the environment.
gonna do that sponsor.
Irony,
I
Joe.
want to do that.
Why? I'm actually looking at sponsor a starving child. I've been doing it since fucking '89, and as much as it's a great thing to do, you know, there's too many fucking people. So now I'm looking at it like, am I doing the right thing here?
Of course you are, man. Kid didn't ask to be born, man. He's here. He deserves his fair shake.
Look at that. I'm coming a little to the right. You're going a little to the left. We're just balancing out, Joe.
That's the beauty of this act.
That's the beauty of it.
Let me talk about it like Jerry Lewis. That was the beauty of Deed and I.
Joe, are we boozing this week?
Yeah, but you're doing morning radio every fucking
Jesus.
day. Like
Yeah.
some kind of queen. Your fucking shows are sold out, aren't they? What do you need radio for?
Because I'm a fucking shameless ham. And I'm doing the Opie and Anthony show, which I'm literally giddy about going back in there and arguing with Anthony. It's been so fucking long to go in there. I'm hoping the second I walk in there, he just has one of his classic... He doesn't even need that. Just spout an opinion.
You think there's any room for me to come in, maybe?
Joe, why always got to piggyback on my shit?
I just want to hang out.
You're like the radio pop-up. Come in Friday, Joe. Let me re-establish myself on the show.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Huh? I'll come in, sing a couple of tunes. Luck be a lady tonight.
You dirty cunt.
All right, Joe. Now we're just being filthy. Let's.
All right, plugs. Time for plugs.
Time for plugs. All right. Well, we've already done Caroline's. Next week, all you Los Angelinos, my new adopted home city. I'm going to be at the Improv Comedy Club in Melrose on Melrose Avenue on Friday and Saturday, the 19th and 20th. No, sorry, the 18th and 19th of June. So come on down. I have one show Friday, and I have 2 shows on Saturday. I have a brand new hour of material. Don't be a cunt. Come on down and check out the show.
And look at that phone call right at the end.
Let's see.
And I want to plug June 22nd. June 22nd, my album. June 22nd, my Comedy Central album will be released. The Depression Auction. Please buy it on iTunes or any other major download site. And on June 20, actually every Tuesday night at the Housing Works in New York City on Crosby Street.
You're supposed to talk over the damn words, Joe. Jesus.
Every Tuesday night at the Housing Works on Crosby Street, New York City, I have a show called Punch Up Your Life. Please come. It's always great. 8:30 every Tuesday.
All right, now music. This is going to be the soundtrack. When I heard this song, Joe, I just pictured an entire evening of drinking in New York City, and this is like the vibe. I fucked it up. I'm not a DJ. I
Play
quit.
it again. I'll talk over the intro.
Talk over the. It's like a 20-second intro. Here we go.
Yeah, bub. She left me. Give me a whiskey, man. I know I said I quit, but I'm back on the wagon. I'm back off the horse again.
All right, that's the uninformed show. I'm sorry. I know that ending was a little fucked up. What do you want for 2 sweaty jackasses in a fucking apartment here? Hour and 6 minutes, an extra 6 minutes for you anorexics out there. That's it. We'll talk to you next month. And now, another wonderful episode of Uninformed. This episode's topic is going to be publicity.
Hey, sometimes things go bad and your back's against the wall. Some guy wants to throw his hands up and say, that's all. But it's not if you've got a good PR man.
That's fucking horrific.
Spin, spin, spin. Spin means that you win. Spin.
Joe Rosa, everybody. Joe's in a singing mood. I thought you were going to go with publicity. We gotta find ourselves. All right, we're annoying people with our out-of-tune singing. This is uninformed. No reading, no research, just strong opinions. You know, just like every cunt you know down there in the bar, right?
That's right.
They get their arm going like this as they're trying to make a fucking point.
That's right.
As they fucking tread water in the cesspool of their own life. There you go,
Right.
Joe. Little poetry.
By cunts we mean women.
Yes, we do.
All
And the most
women, every
the
one
most
of
hurtful, disrespectful, chauvinistic way we can.
Every last one of those.
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're, us two morons. I love that you just slammed your fucking toe against the coffee table. That's for everybody to listen to your awful fucking singing.
It hurt.
You told me you wanted to sing a song about publicity, Joe. I thought it was gonna be a little 8-second ditty. I didn't know you were gonna do a fucking double album, Allman Brother thing.
I was kind of making it up in the shower. I got some of the rhymes down.
Oh, there you go, Joe. You're like Jay-Z. It's all in your head. It's all in your head, Joe. All right, so we're actually gonna talk this episode of Uninformed. We're gonna talk about publicity because you know, Joe, we see a lot of stars lately. A lot of the stars out there that you know, they're running into a lot of bullshit lately because everybody's got a cell phone camera. Everybody's got stuff recorded. You can't even leave a phone message now. Right. Somebody can think about that back in the day, Joe. If you were dating some starlet in the early 70s, let's just really go big here with the fantasy. Let's just picture that you're successful at any point in time in the history of mankind, all right? And you're dating Kate Jackson. She's on the Rookies. She's young. She's wide-eyed, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to put it in her ass the night before. She didn't let you.
Right.
So what do you do? What do you do? You go off on her fucking answering machine.
Yeah.
What can she do other than play it to her invite other people to sit through LA traffic and wind their way up the fucking Palisades Mountains to get to her fucking goddamn place and listen to it, right?
Yeah. And you know, if she's got those answer machine messages, you know she's got pictures of your cock somewhere too. I know it's the 70s, Bill.
It's the 70s. Oh, yeah, they instant Polaroid, right?
But they got she fanned out a fucking picture of your cock.
What can she do other than invite people over and show them? What I'm saying, Joe, is there's really no firestorm back there. What are the odds one of her friends will have like a real one of those little recorder things? Where can you send it to? You'd have to then...
What is one of those little recorders?
You know, back in the day when you had like, it was shaped like a rectangle, and there was 5 buttons, and the record button was always a different color, and then you had like a little cassette tape in it. So what you have to do, I don't know where you even make copies. You have to take that one copy and then take it to a news station. Yeah. And then they'd be like, we can't play this. He keeps saying, fuck you in the ass, you overrated cunt. We can't play this anywhere.
The news station would probably be like, we don't have the technology to play an audio cassette on the air. How do you think this is, NASA?
Exactly. So what we're saying is I heard back in the day, like, you know, there was a certain comedian used to wear Hawaiian shirts. No, not that one. Yeah, hold that first. He had golf clubs. He always had a golf club. Not going to say who it is. And he performed for all these presidents and for troops and all that. I heard a little fucking rumor about that guy. He liked the chicks a little young.
Yeah.
Not I'm talking like 15, 16. You know those chicks you see walking down the street. You go, God damn. And then you see their parents. You're like, oh fuck, she's only 15. You got to fucking look away.
Right.
Or if you're Anthony, you know, you drive your SUV over both parents. Hit the automatic hatchback and she jumps right in. Yeah, he liked them a little young.
Yeah, so
a little young. So what he would do, evidently, was he would go to gay club with him because he knew what little paparazzo there was back then.
That's right.
Yeah, he basically went out on the town with underage girls, from what I heard.
That's right.
From one of the sleuths out there,
allegedly
selling the celebrity mask.
Right.
Dude, Rock Hudson.
Well, think about that.
Rock Hudson was out there fucking blowing guys for decades.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
The technology wasn't there. It was all
privacy back then. Billy would hide out.
People couldn't sneak cameras in, Joe. They were the size of your fucking head.
You do that shit in a straight car, for Christ's sake. How many fucking reporters did 3 leaked? About 3 news stories leaked about Sinatra beating a reporter in his fucking chin in the middle of a bar. How many times did that really happen?
And everybody just went, that's old Frank.
It probably happened at least 21 times.
Oh, exactly.
And he just knocked the guy down the fucking ground of rage.
Just kicked the starch right out of the guy's shirt. You know, back then they dressed so well. But nowadays, Joe, Jesus Christ, you either look at some girl the wrong fucking way, her friends have like a 3-camera shoot, like a fucking sitcom.
That always goes back to the cuts, Bill.
It always goes back to the cuts, Joe. Just laying there like a crater. You know, like some ancient meteor just hit the ground in the middle of Arizona.
That's the whole thing.
And they built a town around it.
That's the whole thing is that, you know, these guys get in this position now, it's unavoidable. What do you do when your back's against the wall? What do you do? And the best fucking spin that I've ever seen. How would you get on with it? Okay, but, well, the best one I know is a huge scandal or anything, but that guy, Lars von Trier, the German director.
The drummer from Metallica.
Yeah. That's the Greek that runs the butcher shop, right? Yeah, so this guy Lars von Trier, German director, very well respected director, makes this movie called Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. I forget the actress's name that was in it. It was just two people in the movie.
Very good though.
It came out like a year ago.
It's called Antichrist.
It's called Antichrist. It's a horror movie. I couldn't tell you what the fuck this movie's about.
You saw it.
You know, yeah. It starts with. It's about a couple that their kid dies. The kid falls out. The 3-year-old kid falls out of the window and dies because they're fucking in the other room and not watching. Yeah. So like. Jesus Christ. Sorry. So I saw a joke there. So they're banging in the other room, not watching. The kid falls out the window. So then the kid starts going crazy. Willem Dafoe plays a therapist, but he's married to her, so he takes her into treatment. He
Married to who?
The chick. They're a married couple.
Oh, so it's Willem Dafoe's kid.
In the movie, yeah.
So they're
this
fucking.
couple.
So now his wife, who was banging in while their toddler fell out the window, is now going to go to her husband for therapy.
Exactly.
And then he pretends like he doesn't remember that they were fucking.
No. He's like, I'm going to try to treat you because you're in such bad shape and I love you and you're my wife.
Okay.
Takes her up to this cabin, all this crazy shit starts happening, blah, 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 blah. Now in this movie, they show full-on penetration. They show that close-up penetration. It's a beautifully shot film, it really is, but this is what they do in the movie. They show penetration. They show the woman at the end, she cuts her own clitoris off, and they show it. They show a close-up of it, which is pretty brutal.
What?
She goes crazy. She beats William Dafoe at one point in the cock. She hits him in the cock with like a sledgehammer, and he passes out. And then she jerks him off when he's passed out. They show bloody jizz hitting her in the fucking chest. It's fucking nasty, dude. There's shit in this movie you like that you never want to see. It's gross, man. It's really fucking gross. So, this guy, Lars von Trier, makes his artsy fucking, whatever, provocative film. Takes it over to the Cannes Film Festival. It screens. I've watched footage on YouTube of the end of the screening. Half of the audience is booing the film. They're standing up and screaming at the fucking screen. They go to a press conference right after the screening. First question out of the gate, a reporter stands up, I think he's an English guy, and goes, "Excuse me, Mr. von Trier, I want you to explain to me what made you think it was okay to bring this movie to the Cannes Film Festival?" Lars von Trier goes, "I don't have to explain that." The reporter starts screaming at him, "Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This movie is an atrocity." So the guy's got his back against the wall. What will we do, Bill? I panic. I don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah.
Lars von Trier, in a moment of brilliant spin, goes, "You are all my guests here. It is not the other way around. I am the greatest filmmaker alive." Shuts the guy down immediately. What the fuck do you do? That's it. That's it.
They didn't have any more follow-up questions?
The clip ends there, but you just see the guy get defeated. He's just like, God damn. What do? You can't.
Make yourselves at home, have yourself a trisket.
Because that answer, if that guy commits to that answer, and you're like, all right, if he really believes that, I can't argue him anymore. If he really thinks those things, I can't argue him. That's it. He shut me down.
Fucking brilliant.
There's no fault.
So you're thinking like that's the way Charlie Sheen and all these guys should handle their horse shit? Joe, let me ask you this, okay? Now that you've seen the master do it, Lars von Ulrich over there. All right, if you fucking what's his face? Richard, fucking what's his from Michael Richards.
Yeah.
All right? You in a moment of getting annoyed, you drop, what is it, 58, 59 fucking N-words?
Right.
How do you get out of it?
Look, I think I think he did the right thing by apologizing, but I think where he messed up was he was squirming, man. He was squirming. Even if, it's just like if you...
What was he supposed to? Yeah, I said it.
No, I don't think he should have done that. I don't think he should have done that. But it's like, even if you're completely in the wrong, like if you beat up a kid, if you're a bully, you beat up a kid in your neighborhood, and that kid didn't do anything wrong at all. If he comes back and he's being squirmy, you want to beat him up again. And that's what Michael Richards did. He made a huge mistake, dude. He fucked up big time.
It's such a fucked up analogy, because that kid was the victim of that.
I know, but that's my point.
You know, if you walk into the club and you're black and somebody calls you the N-word and then you show up again the next day,
No, you're
still black. I mean,
no.
you're asking for it.
You're misunderstanding me. That's not what I'm
You're not
saying.
explaining it clearly.
What I'm saying is even somebody in a situation that has zero guilt, like a kid that got beat up by a bully, when that person squirms,
around the other way then.
yeah, when that person squirms, it annoys you. So now you take a guy that's already unlikable because he fucked up royally, and he's squirming on top of it. It makes him
Alright, so what's your name?
unlikable.
Jones, the next day, you should have came out, you were the wacky next door neighbor. You brought back one day at a time and you played that plumber guy.
He should have.
You dropped the N-word, whatever, 12 times, just like fucking Ricky Gervais. Michael Richards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. You should let me know. Fuck you. We're on a morning show. There's a coffee table right here. Just imagine there's some plants there. So here I am. I'm fucking.
I'm Michael Richards.
And I'm the male version of fucking Katie Couric. All right. I'm wearing slacks, but I have on pumps, and you're not going to address it because you're in a rough time here. All right.
Okay.
Joe, obviously you know why you're here today.
Yes.
You will take us through it. You were doing a set last night, and you were at one of these alternative comedy rooms where, of course, all the brilliant comics are, because, you know, you guys are just too smart for the comedy clubs.
I was at the Laugh Factory.
You're at the Laugh Factory, okay, sorry. So you're at the Laugh Factory. Yeah. Was there a lot of laughs at the factory last night, Joe?
Well, no, there weren't. Okay. Katie Couric?
Michael Couric, who
Is
talks
your
like
play?
Katie. I don't know.
What, Maddie Couric.
Yes,
Maddie Couric. Well, Maddie, I gotta tell you, we all know why I'm here, as you said already, and we all saw
Why
the
would you think
tape.
that was? What do you think that is?
What?
You're
Well,
here because you carpet
Oh,
bombed
if you let me
the
finish,
N-word.
you fucking cunt.
No, see, no, I'm being a douche.
I know,
Let's do it.
this is what I would say. I would go, look, we all know why I'm here. We all saw the tape. We all know I made a major mistake. I'm embarrassed of it.
Okay, back up a second. To say that it's a major mistake, I mean, John, you can't lose your cool here. You can't go Chris Brown on me.
I'm not.
No, they're not gonna, Joe.
Oh, you're doing. I
Joe,
thought you were.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm
a
sorry.
TV personality.
I'm sorry. I thought you were jumping in this bill.
No, I don't give a shit
Okay,
what
go
you
ahead.
said. I'm
Okay.
here for the ratings.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want
got
you to flip out.
Sorry. I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you carpet bombed the Laugh Factory with the N-word. Reminded me of the '68 Tet offensive.
Yeah.
It's like with the racist.
I'm aware. I was there, and
You bombed here.
yeah, I know the mistake that I made, and I regret it greatly. But sometimes things get out of hand.
But to call that a mistake, I mean, you know, you're driving down the street, you're supposed to go left and you go right. In my world, that's a mistake. But when you did, I mean, a lot of people out there, Joe, they view that as reprehensible. And in a lot of ways, they view it as something that there is no apology. Well, I feel that you can apologize for something.
Maddie,
To this level,
if there's no apology for it, I don't know why you would have had me on the show here, unless you just want to come on to throw gasoline on the fire. If that's what you're interested in doing, that's fine.
If you want to talk about this,
Clearly say I'm
I'm
sorry.
here. I'm not here to apologize. We're trying to find out why you did it, why you referred to that.
Well, Manny, I'm not proud of doing it. I'm not saying it was right, but my anger got the best of me, and sometimes we make grave mistakes. And much more grave mistakes have been made than what I did last night. Some people make mistakes where, there are car accidents or deaths or injuries and things of that nature.
But a car
People
accident-
make mistakes. And if we can believe that people on death row for murder or for crimes of violent nature can be forgiven and can redeem themselves, I certainly think I can redeem myself from the mistake I made last night.
So do you feel that you're a racist? I mean, is that common for you that, like, you know, if you screw up, you just yell effing Puerto Ricans? I mean, if something bad happens?
No, I don't.
See, that's the emotional gap that me and the viewers, we're trying to make this leap with you. that because you got mad that you reverted to this. I mean, are you the only half-white comedian? I don't know exactly what you meant, but this is just for the show. Say you are actually full-on Caucasian. Have you ever been heckled or ever seen another white comedian heckled by someone of color?
Yes, I have.
And did they revert to just dropping the N-word?
No.
As if it was 400 degrees
No.
in their
But
head.
I'll tell you something, Manny. I'd like to know what I'd see if I got a video camera on you in your weakest moments.
Well, you wouldn't see that, I can tell you that.
No, I would
I mean, well, it does remain to be seen, but I can tell you if I did it, I would be sitting where you're sitting, and I'm not. So you can try and turn this around as much as you want to. You don't sound very apologetic.
Are you a religious person?
I'm finding you to be very combative here.
Are you a religious person?
Hang on a second, we have to go to commercial. We're here with a very combative, racist Joe DeRosa. You fucking totally failed that.
No, I didn't.
I think I just got a morning talk show gig right now.
I didn't fail that.
Yeah, you did.
So that guy
Your eyebrows are down. You look very unlikable.
Well, look, you, hold on. First
Fuck
of all,
you racist.
That was, you were going super aggressive. You were going super aggressive. They let Michael Richards talk for 5 fucking minutes straight when he went on record. He did a full-on fucking apology.
But he was squirming.
Yeah.
He was squirming. I'll let you squirm. You weren't squirming. You were sitting here like with your dick on the table like, yeah, I said it.
No, you can't. I'm telling you,
I'm
Bill.
never buying one of your albums again.
I'm telling you, you can't squirm, dude. You can't. You gotta go, look, I fucked up and I'm sorry. Sorry. People make mistakes.
I
That's
don't know
it.
about that,
You
Joe.
have to do it that way. Look,
You know what would be great,
look
Joe?
what good it did him.
You know what would
I'm
be
right,
good?
because look what good it did him.
You're not right.
It made him worse off. It made him worse off. People hated him more after
Joe,
that apology.
you haven't been where he's at and survived it. We just played pretend here, and you're trying to say that you're right.
Well, I can tell you this. The way he handled it was absolutely wrong. Maybe I'm not right with my way, but his way was definitely wrong. It did more damage to him. People were like,
Well,
I
if
see
you're
that
gonna
fucking
like-
Michael Richards on Letterman. Oh, Christ. That's
You know,
what
you know what I
everyone
think, Joe? This is how you handle something like that is you just go, look, there is no apology for it, and I don't ever expect anybody to ever forgive me for saying what I said. I'm 100% wrong. I lost my temper, and I was so mad at those people who were heckling me, and I was so humiliated that the way they were heckling me, I tried to hurt them the way I felt I was hurt and being hurt, and I way overcompensated. I basically, somebody shot an elastic at me, and I took out a bazooka. And but because the bazooka I used were racial slurs, you know, I think this is going to probably kill my career. And it wouldn't surprise me if it did, and it's my own damn fault because I screwed up. That's what you do. Now, there's no way out of it. You killed everything that they're going to ask you.
That's very
Do you
good.
think this is going to screw? Yes, I just said it is. So I'm here to say I'm sorry, and you know, and you know what? I feel bad for everybody who's on the show with me because you know, all those stupid pictures now, everyone's going to look at and be like, oh, there's the 3 people, and the guy drops the N-word. So I feel bad for all of them. It's not how I was raised, but every now and then I've got some issues. I'm going to therapy, everybody. That's what you do. You walk out.
That's very good. Well, Bill, luckily, our guest today is an expert in this field.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be able to tell us who's right, who's wrong, who's up the middle,
Yes.
and how to do this for real. Stay tuned, folks. Tony Fox,
He's coming up next.
top publicist at Comedy Central for the last 20 years or something like that.
Go get yourself a fucking English muffin and sit down because we're about ready to talk to the one and only Tony Fox. And I got a feeling, Joe, I don't know why, it's almost like we already pre-recorded this segment or something, like I can see into the future, but I got a feeling, Joe, I'm going to give Tony a huge intro that he's going to feel like he can't even follow.
I feel like that might happen too.
All right, so now that we've made complete asses of ourselves, Joe, we've presented our theories
Right.
on how we would handle some of the worst PR nightmares in this what do we call it? The business that we're in, this stage media, Joe.
Yeah.
Where everyone has flip cameras and phones. You can't get away with anything anymore. We've decided to bring in the best of the best to our knowledge of handling PR with the coolest guys. Dare I say, the best guy we know in the show business is on the other side of the enemy lines, right here at Comedy Central. The one and only, the legendary, the man we all want to be, the guy's guy, Tony Fox.
Tony
Welcome.
Fox.
Wow, what an introduction.
Welcome,
That was
Tony.
beautiful.
There's no way I'm going to live up to that. Dude, you have no idea the way me and Joe, when we sit there and we talk about how we want to be down the road, it always comes around. Like we always go, want to do this, want to do that, and I always hit down. Like Tony Fox. Tony Fox, he's doing it right.
Yeah, we were sitting at the desk downstairs. I said, I'm excited to see Tony. He's going to look like $1,000,000 when he walks through the door. Sharp suit, hanging. You know, we do it. And he didn't want to stop. We came in smooth.
And the great thing, too, is his story was that he was kind of a knucklehead when he was coming up. He kind of alluded to that. Like right now, just to get a background, is it accurate to say that you're basically the head of PR over here?
Yes, it is accurate. I'm actually the executive vice president of corporate communications for the Networks team, which includes Comedy Central. So I oversee publicity for Comedy Spike and TV, the long-time comedy guy.
You know, we got to help you with the mic. Just try to.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, closer.
There you go. Yeah.
There you are.
Well, now you got that whole impressive title. Now, what we like 20 years ago, whatever it was, 30 years ago, you were telling me that you were kind of the, as far as your family, everybody was.
Well, yeah. I have a brother who's 17 months older than I am, and he is a surgeon now, but really wanted to be a doctor when he was in high school, and applied himself. Did very well.
Did his homework.
Did all that kind of stuff. I was just the opposite. I was my siblings, my parents always sort of wondered out loud, what are we going to do about Tony?
See, I was that guy too. As far as my dad used to be like, Jesus Christ, you're gonna be living at home when you're 30. He's screaming at me. So you were that guy. This was that guy.
I was that guy, and I ended up taking a messenger job at HBO to get my foot into the door of the cable industry and one of the brands sort of leading the development of the industry, and that was HBO. Didn't want to be a messenger for my whole career, but it got my foot in the door.
You didn't?
No.
Sounds like a dream.
That wasn't your goal. Look, Ma, I'm a messenger.
And I sort of back into the PR career, but what I didn't realize in college and in high school, I was a big party boy. Told a great story. I had a million friends, and I just was sort of a natural-born PR guy and didn't realize until I got into the position at HBO.
I didn't realize that was actually a job.
I had no discernible skills whatsoever. However, in this case, I knew how to pitch a good story. I knew how to tell a good story, and I was working at a great company that had good products, so I was successful. I worked in sports for a while at HBO. Mike Tyson was sort of their marquee fighter, and
well, speaking of PR,
now
how did you handle that when you were? Did you guys necessarily have to handle that? You guys
I was done by the time he was biting the ears off his opponents, but it was kind of an interesting ride. He was a phenomenon. Not only was he the youngest heavyweight champion ever, but he was unlike anybody that had come along really since Muhammad Ali. He was knocking guys out within the first round, often within the first minute.
Oh, yeah.
And sitting ringside at those fights, when Tyson hit somebody, you could feel the concussion on your skin, like fireworks on the floor.
When you were at the fight?
I sat ringside for 26 Tyson fights, and I got hit by teeth, mouth guards, sweat, blood.
Oh my
And
God!
Trevor Berbick once knocked unconscious, landed on top of me, and came right to me.
I got
300-pound sweaty black man. It was quite an
You were
experience.
the one I always said, you look like East Cosby. You got to put the link up there. He knocked out this dude, black guy with like this afro. It was amazing. It was the 80s, but he had an afro from the 70s. Like he came in a time machine.
I think I was at that fight. That was in Vegas. I'm trying to remember who the guy was.
It was early on because he wasn't champ yet, and I think he was still wearing white. He might have white trunks in that one. And all I remember was he knocked the dude out, and the guy got up at a standing 8 count. Tyson came over, and it looked like he was trying to throw somebody out from the warning track. It was this overthink, right? And the guy totally zigged when he should have zagged. In the last second, he turns his head like, oh God. And I thought he killed him.
So what if you had still been around at that, HBO when all the crazy Tyson stuff? What if you were somehow working on behalf of Tyson? You get the phone call. It's not out yet, Tony. Mike hit a guy's ear. At the fight. Obviously the cameras are there, but how do we handle this tomorrow?
Well, that's a tough one. I would probably advise him to hold a press conference and explain what happened during that moment. You know, obviously when you're in a fight, a championship fight, your adrenaline's flowing, you're trying to knock the other guy out. I mean, boxing is a sport about
Look at beautifully
knocking the other unconscious. So I would probably try and suggest in the heat of the moment, Mike did something that he later regretted after the fight was over. He injured this poor form of his, who was it he did against?
Van Holyfield.
I mean, obviously his mother had a great career. It was an egregious action on his part, and I think, you know, in situations like this, you have to cop to mistake. You have to admit you're wrong, and I think most people in the media in particular are willing to give you a break, you know?
Do you feel that they love it when the famous person goes into denial mode because they think, oh great, this is going to be like a 2-3 week story now?
The media does love that. It's exactly the opposite of what I would advise. I mean, you know, we talk about crisis management and cutting the head off the story. I mean, the idea is to make the story end, and often the way to do that is to tell the truth. And in this particular case, he did something he shouldn't have done. That's just what it was. I think, you know, trying to say it never happened.
What's the worst example you've seen recently of somebody just an absolute shitstorm? Which I'm sure you're like, you just, even if you're in a conversation, you just hear it in the background on the TV. You go, oh God, there's a PR moment. You just saw somebody famous, something horrific happened, and you just saw them totally handling it. You know, like you just sit there like the way I watch a sporting, like the way it's going. You scream at them, going, no, you just admit to it. Like the Tiger Woods thing we were talking about.
And the big mistake that they made is they didn't come clean. They tried to act like nothing happened. I mean, Tiger Woods drives out of his driveway, God knows how fast, smashes into his tree. His wife is chasing him with the golf club and smashing windows out of his car. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, they said it was like cold medicine or something, whatever the hell.
And I think if I were advising Tiger, this guy has millions of advisors, you know, the highest paid advisors out there. You know, they tried to pretend nothing happened. The media just wasn't going to, not only, they weren't going to until they got the truth.
So what would you have done?
I would suggest the media,
Tiger.
you need to admit to the media that you're having marital problems and that you're planning to deal with them and you're planning to do that privately. I think what Tiger ended up doing is because he didn't deal with the problem, it just sort of hung out there. The media kept picking at it and allowed the media the time to start looking into what else this guy might be up to. If he's having problems with his wife, perhaps he cheated on his wife. Where's the woman he cheated with?
Right.
And I think also the enormous amount of media attention that was created by this situation encouraged the people that he was out there messing around with to surface.
It actually gave them a way to make money.
Exactly.
He wasn't
Exactly. They saw the media attention and they thought, wow, I wonder if I can sell my story here. If he had come from the very beginning that perhaps he had been unfaithful to his wife and that he was planning to take the hands that he was privately and behind the scenes that's what I would do.
Do you
Likely what would happen.
Do you agree with this career advice? This is what I would say to Tiger before anything happens. Stop banging hookers. Bang your loyal fans, because they won't talk. Hookers are going to go to the highest bidder. They're all about money. You bang some chick from Des Moines.
That's a good point.
She's grateful.
Yeah, listen, I'm not sure it's just the opposite. Hookers are the most reliable to have an indiscretion with because, you know, they have no emotional connection to you. All they want is money. They could consider it blackmail, but any man could do the same thing that any hooker did. You know, this is Tiger Woods after all. If someone has him in a place where he's vulnerable, they might try to exploit that. So I don't know that fans
Joe,
really go
that's the habit of dick. It just, you know, you practice and it just takes everything away.
Yeah.
Now how long, so Tiger Woods, he goes out, he admits to what he does. Is it a written statement, no questions, no follow-up questions, right? Or
I would suggest no follow-up questions. You don't really want to get into it because it was a personal matter. It's involving he and his wife. I think you have some wiggle room in terms of your ability to say, hey, this is a personal issue. I'm not getting into any more details. I'll admit we're having some issues, and we're going to work those
The
out.
Rex Ryan foot fetish thing, I thought he handled that brilliantly. He's just like, did you remember that? You don't remember? Okay, Rex Ryan, the coach of the New York Jets, he's into feet. The guy's into feet. He made this freaky little video with his wife, and she was sticking her little fucking toes out the door. I didn't really watch it. It was just too weird for me. But, you know, when he just came on, he just goes, you know, it's a private matter between me and my wife. And they just kept asking questions. He just kept saying, like I said, you know, you can ask everything you want. It's a private matter. And then they go, what do we say about your wife? And he goes, I've been with her 20 years. I love her. She's awesome. I was just like, and I hate the Jets. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy. He totally handled it. And then people still made the jokes. You know, hey, it's, you know, all Brady has to do is wear open-toed sandals and he won't be able to coach the game, blah, 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 blah. But,
that's exactly the kind of thing that you want to do. Nip it in the bud, cop to whatever the situation is, and if it is of a personal nature, I think most people understand that, you know, you're not obligated to talk about your sex life or what might interest you behind closed doors. I mean, that's just something that people accept.
all right, I think that certain people can get away with honesty, and they know that you're already a little off. Like Rex is a little crazy. Like Madonna, when Madonna had the naked photos come out, when they discovered those, they used to bring people down, like Vanessa Williams and all these people. I guess she was Miss America.
Miss America,
Who
yeah.
gives a shit? I'm just, what?
Girls, Miss America, she can't show a clam to the public once in a while. Forget it.
I know,
Big deal.
It's the 80s. How else did you make it back then? They're still doing that. Like, you know, I talk about PR that just amazes me as far as, like, is how Kim Kardashian, like, 20 years after Rob Lowe made a sex tape, it like ended his career for like 3-4 years, and all the Bible thumpers were freaking out. She makes a sex tape. That's what makes her. When I was flying out here, Joe, you know, you got those plastic trays you put all your extra shit in as you're going through security. Her face is in there doing some sort of advertising. This girl who basically made it because she sucked the right dick on camera.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much times have changed with that sort of thing.
Well, it was a very unoriginal idea. Obviously, Paris Hilton was the first to do it, and I'm pretty sure Kim Kardashian saw what that did for Paris's career and thought,
Well, I thought Paris did the video a little into being the party whore. It was like she was the party whore. Baby got out without the panties. She had a nice build. So a quick shot of the planet, and she took it to the next level.
As we talk about this, it goes big, you know, there's an interesting perspective of the unapologetic nature of something. Kim put that out there, she didn't bat a fucking eye. She was like, yeah, it's out there, I don't give a shit. Like you were saying about the Madonna thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. We all know the Michael Richards incident, you know, brutal thing.
Yep.
I always felt that his biggest mistake was the way he apologized. He didn't own it. He didn't go out there and go, hey man, I was doing a show, it's fixed, I'm angry, fucked up, I'm sorry, all right? Instead he worked around it and looked more weaselly, and it made you dislike him even more.
I think you're right. You're kind of substantiating what I just said. You cop to it, and you're honest about it.
What do you cop to there? Because the thing I understand him weaseling.
He lost his temper. He's performing, and you guys know better than anybody. You're out there doing stand-up, trying to hold the attention of the audience. You've got some hecklers out there. They happen to be African American. You lose your cool and you say something you regret. It happens. People do it. And I think
That
people
is the
identify.
nicest way of saying I said the N-word in the most hateful way.
Well, yes,
God
yes.
damn it,
And that's exactly why it requires him to be contrite and to own it, as Joe says. And to explain what he was feeling when he said it, the fact that he regrets it and will regret it for the rest of his life. Again, we have a very forgiving culture. We like to tear people down, but we also believe in redemption. And I think if someone like Michael Richards, who's a beloved character from a famous sitcom, he made a mistake, he owns it, he apologizes, and maybe even does something to make amends for his mistake. Right. You know, that's like Craig Kilborn in the early days of Comedy Central, The Daily Show. This guy, we used to make fun of him because we called him Ted Baxter. He was a news reader, and had no idea what he was reading. Right. Literally read stuff from the Secretary General, his name Boutros Ghali. Right. And Kilborn read the teleprompter, and he basically says, hey guys, there's a typo here. You got this guy's name twice. And of course we're all chuckling like, don't you read the paper ever? So he and I
I
was
watched Letterman. That was a huge joke on Letterman.
Well, he and I were supposed to have lunch for the longest time when he was the host of The Daily Show. We finally get it together when he's actually leaving Comedy Central. He's going to do the CBS show. And I thought that the kind could be very nice with him. And and he was sort of asking me for advice in terms of his career. He's going to network. You know, things are blowing up. It's going to be great. What do you think? And I said to him, you know, Craig, you need to convince the public that the character that they see every night on the TV show is just that. It's a character that you're playing. It's not really you.
Because why?
Because of his vanity, because of his, he was just kind of an idiot sometimes.
Right.
And I think, you know, to convince people it was a character as opposed to really him would have done him good. And I also suggested maybe you go out there and do some charity work and do things that show that you're a real human being, that you have feelings.
Now, did he get in a roundabout way? He was saying in a nice way, you know, you're kind of a dick.
I think he did. I think he did understand that.
Did he follow the? I don't think he followed the advice.
I don't know that he did, no. I'm pretty sure he did.
So since you've been here, I don't want to get you in trouble. How long you been here at Comedy Central?
20 years.
You've been here basically from
From the beginning.
day one.
Yeah, I started at the
Channel.
Comedy Channel. I had, as I said, I started at HBO. I left HBO to go to CBS Sports. Left CBS Sports after a year. I wasn't crazy about working there. And I went back to HBO shortly after they had launched the Comedy Channel.
Right.
Within 8 months, Comedy Channel virtual Comedy Central in 91.
Then he came. So you've been here. Basically said, what's the? I'll get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble here. What's the toughest situation you've had to deal with here as far as PR? Anything crazy?
2 biggies. One was Chappelle leaving. That was a really hard one. And I think unfortunately Chappelle mishandled his role in what happened. I mean, he decided to take off, but didn't really explain why. And again, I think had he said, hey, I'm experiencing creative issues, emotional issues, whatever it happened to be, we're not really sure ultimately what was responsible for bailing on the show, but he just took off and didn't empower any of his representatives to explain what happened. And so what ended up happening is speculation. If you don't provide the answers, the media will try and come up with them for you. And very often those answers are wrong or inaccurate. So, you know, had his management said, hey, he wants to deal with them, he'll be back, you know, storm would have calmed down. But because they never answered that question, speculation happened over and over and over, and this crisis lasted almost a year.
Right. So the key with good PR or putting out fires is not allowing speculation to occur.
Yes,
That's
I think, and doing it quickly, just like the Tiger Woods thing. You got to get in front of it, you got to deal with it in a believable, honest way. And again, telling the truth is one thing, and not lying is another thing. But you know, you can tell the truth or share part of the truth and not tell the whole truth and not be lying. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to say
Awesome. What he just said was awesome.
The idea is you're sitting on a bunch of information. You can provide part of that information and be telling the truth. Withhold other parts of the information, but because you've never been asked about it, you're not lying about it. So you're not sharing the whole truth, but you're not lying.
Right, and then he's just keeping it vague and finding out that other stuff because what you said was true.
So it's like you're married, you go out with the guys, you come home stinking drunk. Where were you? I was out with the guys. You just leave out at a dinner.
Yes. Now, if you smell like cheap perfume and you have, you know, lipstick stains all over you, you might not get away with that.
Maitre D, his wife fucked me on the way out the door. She was a battle axe, so she just had it all caked on. She looked like a goddamn boogie here. Hey, so what was the other one?
The other one was really scary, and that was Littleton. The shooters at the school on Littleton. What happened was we're all in the office watching this crisis unfold. They knew there were gunshots. They knew people were killed in this particular situation. But at that point, we really didn't know what was going on. You know, the guys who were responsible for all the shooting had not killed themselves yet.
Right.
Cops were waiting in charge of school. So by the time I left the office, the crisis was still unresolved. By the time I got home, I got a call from our head of development on the West Coast, who was responsible for South Park, and she had just seen a news clip from Littleton, a local crew of several these students in trench coats. One of them was wearing a Kill Kenny South Park t-shirt, getting loaded into a police car, basically as if he were a suspect in the shootings. And we had already been through a lot of controversy with South Park and the notion of killing Kenny. There had been some kids that through the years who died and put Kenny in a suicide note. There was just a really...
So now, when something like that happens, is there like a red phone at your house that just starts ringing?
There is.
You have a special phone?
Well, there was at the time in South Park, because it was so controversial, we hired a company, a crisis management firm, Robinson Laird Montgomery, that were particularly good at this stuff, and they helped us put together a campaign, sort of outreach campaign, support for the show long before it even aired. But in this particular night, when I got the call and I flipped on the TV, which just so happens the news switch is on my TV as I flip it on, and this guy with his South Park t-shirt on. And I could feel the blood draining out of my head. I was literally felt like I was going to pass out. Kenny Lair was one of the partners of Robinson Laird Montgomery. He's now one of the co-owners of Huffington Post with Arianna Huffington. Very, very sharp guy. And I called him up, and literally I was holding on my bedpost thinking I was going to pass out and hit the floor. And I said, Kenny, explain the situation. And the first thing he did was just get me to calm down, take a few breaths. And interestingly, I don't even remember this in the conversation, but we were planning to come up with a response. And before we even had to do that, it turns out the kid with the Kill Kenny t-shirt was not involved. He was released. He was not a suspect in the crisis. I called it a near miss. And it literally like that, a near miss with airliners. The potential for disaster was enormous.
Have you ever had somebody, you gave them the advice, just go out there, do this, and this thing's going to go away, and then they go out with their ego, and they think, I'm going to wing this thing, and I'll take a little bit of Tony's advice. I'm standing there going, you're fucking this whole thing up. Just did what I told you to do.
I can't remember a specific example of that, though I do remember kind of a fun moment in the Daily Show. When John first took over the Daily Show, he was making changes to the staff. And the writing staff at the Daily Show, when Kilborn was there, a lot of them were former journalists who still had a lot of contacts within the media. And for instance, when Kilborn said that unpleasant thing to Elizabeth in a magazine interview and got suspended for a week, he talked about, and she was his head writer, that if he wanted her to go
Did he know what was going on?
Yeah, and the great thing is he was going out in this interview. I think it was an Esquire magazine interview, and normally we would send a publicist out on an interview like that. He was very cocky and confident, like, don't worry about it, I got this. He ends up saying that. It ends up running in the magazine. Suspending him for several weeks. Liz Winstead later quit the Daily Show. It was kind of a disaster.
And there's definitely certain groups that, like, you don't want to do that. Like, it's already, like, women are struggling to get equality. So, like, when and then a guy who looks the way he looks, who just looks like the privileged frat boy guy. My dad went to Yale, and now I'm going to Yale. I'm not just saying that isn't, but he looks like that guy.
Right.
That's just a nightmare.
Right.
So how would you handle Charlie Sheen? Let's bring this up to the decade here.
Actually, instead of, this will be fun. Instead of asking Tony how he'd handle it, you should pose that to us, and we'll each tell you.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
We're close.
So we're talking about Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
So you go first.
Go ahead, present something that you saw him do, and I'll try to get him out of it, and then you can grade us. See who's the better.
Yeah.
Who's less of a shithead between the two of us.
Let's see. And this is obviously something that really happened. I'd say, what would you do when the situation blew up here in New York with the hooker in the hotel room right next to his name, the Plaza Hotel, blows up, tears the room apart, the hooker calls the cops.
What would I do? Oh, that first thing I do, I'd snap and I'd start screaming at Charlie, like, dude, I had the boat this weekend, the kids were coming over, you asshole. You couldn't even take them to a different hotel. This is what I would say. I would,
Oh boy.
Charlie.
This is not an easy. I don't know that there's a good answer to this one, but go ahead.
I would, well, what isn't fair is I already heard all of your advice, but let me try to put me 40 minutes ago and I didn't know that. Charlie, I would take money out of the bank and put it somewhere that your wife can't get it because you're going to get a divorce. You need to circle the goddamn wagons once this shit is over. And just avoid the media. Keep your head down. Maybe we can get some people to show something like Platoon and some of your more serious movies on TV so people remember that guy. Charlie, why the fuck did you...
That's the old...
He did that?
Shiny object, take a look over here.
Yeah, shiny object. I would definitely throw a globe across my office or something like... Jesus, that's damn near impossible. It's rear naked choke and an arm bar at the same time because it's in his family's there. Yeah, that's how I would do it. I would just say, listen, just in case your wife files for divorce, you know, I would just, you know, take some money out, say you blew it on hookers and coke, and use that as your nest egg.
Set up a Cayman Islands account?
Yeah, that's what I would do. And then just, when people ask you about the hooker, just say, hey, I'm Charlie Sheen. That's how I roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not bad, actually. I like the second.
Like that, I got a little nod. All right, Joe, what do you got?
I'd say, Charlie, stage a press conference immediately. Go out there, and as soon as somebody goes, why did you beat her up? Say, because she was running her yap. And then walk up. No, I'm kidding. No, go on. I would say, yeah, I would play that whole Charlie Sheen. I can't remember who said it to me, but it's a great point. Somebody said to me once, they hired him to be Charlie Sheen on that show, and now they're pissed that he's being Charlie Sheen. I would tell him to play that card. I go, Charlie, you got to steer into this curve immediately and just go, look, you guys want to embrace me for being Charlie Sheen, and then when I do Charlie Sheen shit, you want to crucify me. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I got problems. Yeah, I make mistakes. Yeah, this got out of hand. It's not the first time. Hopefully it's the last.
Yeah, I slapped her around.
What else you gonna do?
I don't know, Tony. What do you say? All right, great. Who lived it better?
First, you gotta make she stole my match, goddammit.
Oh, there you go.
Both your responses are similar, and this notion of I'm being Charlie Sheen is kind of an interesting response, because that is in fact the case. Whether you agree with that lifestyle or not, listen, he's a young guy, he's rich, he's single, he's doing what most guys, I don't know.
Would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot of guys who would actually identify with the way he was behaving, though this situation clearly got out of hand.
I'd say the biggest thing is the family next door. If it was just his wife next door, it's all adults, it's all above board. And combining hitting a woman and your own goddamn children.
Yeah.
Was she being too loud when he was banging?
And that's part of what gave the fuel to the story, is the notion that the guy could behave the way he did is bad enough, but he could do it next door to his wife, former wife, and 2 kids is just kind of crazy. It's like, really?
You could just say I'm method. I just go into the crazy Charlie Sheen mode. I know. I would say that I'm bipolar. Bipolar, and I need to go to rehab. I would just go that active way. Right there.
Go to one of those resorts for 4 weeks. Depending on the hookers you want.
Yeah, that makes you all of a sudden not bipolar or racist. Oh, well, yeah, like it's a drug addiction.
Well, going to rehab obviously has been sort of the blueprint for something wrong where they have a problem for rehab, sex addiction treatment, whatever it may be. You know, one of the things there is the sympathy. They have a problem. They're to be applauded for dealing with that problem and wanting to, recover from that problem. So that's what, again, I talked about, I mentioned earlier, that's a lot of people when they screw up and they it ends with that mistake and make themselves better, whether it's an illness or whatever it may be, or do something right because they have wronged someone else. I mean, I think people tend to want to forgive people who do that.
Yeah, Dennis Leary had a great bit on No Perfect Cancer. I smoke, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna do a bunch of blow, I'm gonna beat this shit out of everybody I fucking know. And then show up 6 months later to cover people. Sorry.
Well, it's almost become a cliche now because so many people do it.
Yeah. All right, give us gotta wrap it.
Now we gotta ask him one of the guys questions before we get out of here. Like how he carries himself. You got that Rat Pack old school vibe, you know? He can go out.
Partier.
You can go out and he can have a drink, but he never makes a spectacle of himself. It's like you ever watch The Hustler with Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman. Paul Newman gets all shitty and messed up in the beginning, and what's his face? Jackie Gleason just sits there clean as a whistle. Finishes off the table. It's so big. It's got that vibe.
This is what it is about Fox. This is what it is about Fox.
Who has a name? Tony Fox. I think that'd be cool.
110% agree with that. This guy comes. You've told me this before. I believe this was you told me. You come from this era. See, now everything is guilty. Now everything is, your life is on camera 24 hours a day. If you're in whatever business that you're being judged 24 hours a day, your private life becomes your professional life, all that bullshit. You come from this era where it was like, hey man, yeah, I was fall down fucking drunk last night at the Christmas party, but you know what? I was at my goddamn desk the next day, and I got my work done. Go fuck yourselves. And everybody else went, yeah, okay. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's true. It is a philosophy that I've always had, you know, in terms of my life. Work hard, play hard. I've known a lot of people that sort of subscribe to that notion, and it is. If you want to stay out all night partying and having a great time, you got to be at your desk at 9 in the morning. And it's just something I've always believed in. And you got to be, you know, listen, you may not be as highly productive that time than you were last week, but showing up is...
Right, and also, and don't do it every night, but if there's an amazing thing to go to, you go to it.
Absolutely. You only live once.
This guy is hilarious. Like everywhere you go, like I don't care where we were. One time we would, I had to do some gig out in Jersey. So he of course I'm gonna, take the train or sit there in the tunnel. Like, not do that. He goes, take the boat. I didn't even realize it. We get on this boat. It's like the greatest thing ever. You can go by the Statue of Liberty and all this, but they got this little area where you can get a drink or two. And he comes walking in, and like 5 guys at the bar just go, Tony! And the bartender's psyched to see him. Hey, you know, it's like Norm or whatever. Not Norm, that's not a bad example. It's just like, he's the fucking guy. Everywhere he goes.
Lou Rollick has such a great story about you. And we just did this short film called Cheat, and Lou Rollick was one of the producers and investors.
I love Lou.
But yeah, Lou has such a funny story about you. He said you guys were somewhere, some festival, maybe Just for Laughs or some shit. Last night of the festival, some huge party. You guys got to get on, I think, a 6 a.m. flight the next morning. He's like, dude, we are out till 4 a.m. just slamming drinks. We're in awful shape. He goes, we go back to our hotel again. I'm pounding on Tony's door at 5 a.m. He answers the door in his boxers. He's like, we got to go, Tony. We got to get this plane. He said, Tony goes, all right, give me a minute. Shuts the door. 2 minutes later, comes out, full suit. It's like $1 million. He's like, let's go.
I don't even remember that, but it sounds about right.
You look great, man. I don't know how you do it. I played up the group since what is it, October. Just because, you know what it is? My job, I don't have to be anywhere at 8 in the morning. That's the thing about being a comedian, is that every night is open bar. Hey, you want a couple of Heinekens and a couple of shots of Jameson, and then I don't have to go to work again until 8 o'clock at night, and I got to work an hour. I mean, I would. I don't know, my head was getting gigantic. I just had the stuff. I want Tony Fox jeans.
Dude,
I think if I stopped drinking, I'd die.
Your son doesn't told you about your lifestyle. And just like, and he plays he still plays full contact.
I'll be 55 this summer, too. I'm a spring chicken.
Just put Messier to shame.
You look great. You're the guy, dude. We came out to do that hockey benefit for your one son the one time. That everybody was gone, dude. I remember it was like me and
Like Danny Steakhouse afterwards?
Yeah, and you were still like, get this guy a shot, let's go. You know,
because everybody in Danny's Steakhouse knows him. That's another thing too. Tony goes, hey, I know this restaurant. Like, I know restaurants. Nobody knows me. He goes, what? Tony! Everybody freaks out when he comes in. This guy, just born. You know, some people born to be comedians. Like, we're just born to be a PR guy. I think that's why he's such a cool guy, because you're right where you should be. That's very nice. It's pretty fun. It's sort of everything. That's who you are.
You know, and I've been doing it long enough that I have a lot of confidence in myself. So it's just...
Joe, look at his socks. Do you want a pair of socks as cool as that?
You are the old stuff, my friend.
Those are the Tony boys.
Here,
You know,
born and bred.
it's getting harder to keep up, I'll tell you, with all the social media tools and pushing this.
Yeah, I've been handling that with those because I feel like
I have lots of young people working on delegation. You gotta have
I get it. It's delegating. You want to avoid speculation. You tell some truth, but you don't tell all of it. Then you're not lying. Look at the two cars here, Joe. On the underscore show.
Show this day. We're going around next week.
I would love to.
Nice weather's here. Let's hit one of those bars outside on the water out there.
I would absolutely love to do
And
that.
before we get out of here, we got to take two pictures for our listeners. One with all of us, and one of that lamp over there that's made up of foliage, and it's a shamrock shade.
That's one of our old shows called Let's Bowl from years of the
I love that call. The co-host was so funny. There was the straight guy, like straight man co-host.
Right.
Then there was the weird guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're eating tacos later. That guy was so funny. I don't remember who he is, but that was sort of.
I don't remember his name, but it was kind of an innovative show at the time.
You know what show that I think not a rough time from the critics did, Joe? On Comedy Central, which I actually thought people didn't realize was BattleBots. People just made those robots, and everybody thought it was just the dumbest show. It was just two inventions trying to destroy one another. And I saw on so many levels, it was an awesome show where one, like who knows how to invent things? How many Americans are actually good with mechanics and that, or any of that type? I didn't know. I didn't get any sort of background on that. So the fact that these guys could build this, and then also it was just sort of like on the lowest level ever, like global. Like conflict between countries, and that's what you do is you try to invent something that can kill their shit that's trying to kill you. But I liked it. People just thought it was a bunch of morons.
Well, yeah, we took a lot of even from Jon Stewart when we talking about his leading even fighting robots. You know, it's a bit of a stretch for our comedy when we have commentators, but I think they had a program that saw it as something that they'd never seen before. So
I would have put it on
compelling to watch. You know, probably would have made more sense putting it on something like Spike.
I can't believe. I just realized how long Jon Stewart's been hosting the Daily Show.
99, 2000.
Yeah, since '99.
99.
January '99 we
I still
started.
think he's only been there for like 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, I still have like such this bright memory of when he came on.
I thought I had was the coolest guy ever. Coolest,
He's a wonderful,
down to earth.
wonderful guy.
Yeah.
You know, he hosted one of the very first shows in Comedy Central in the early days called Short Attention Span Theater with a woman named Patty Rosborough. And that was just posting clips.
He always had a show. He had a short-lived talk show, I remember, on MTV.
That's right. This was before that.
That was a hit, which turned into them trying to make him go on CBS.
Syndicated show.
Network.
Yep.
And then it was...
And he was on Fox for a while, the talk show. His talk show went to Fox, remember that?
I thought it went to CBS. Oh, it went to CBS?
It was syndicated, and it probably ran on different stations in local markets. So it was on Fox stations, but when you syndicate, different networks affiliates can pick up and buy the show.
He had like the cool late night talk show.
Yep.
He'd have all the bands that, I was in 12th grade when that was on, or 11th grade.
Yeah, that was his syndicated show, which, MTV, it was an MTV show and then became a syndicated show.
Okay.
All right, well, we're winding down here. We know you got all kinds of more PR work to do here. We definitely, I'm actually, we're kind of crazy busy. I don't know about you, but I'm crazy busy for the rest of this week. But I'm coming back in 3 weeks and I'll be down in Caroline's.
Let me know. I would love to.
We just gotta go out. We gotta go out old school, get a steak dinner.
I would
we'll
love
do it
that.
up Tony Fox style.
I would absolutely love that,
Let's
guys.
do it, man.
I'm
Let's do it.
just a
All
phone
right.
call. I'm in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Fox, thank you so much for
Thank you, gentlemen.
Show.
This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
All right, man. All right, that was the one and only Tony Fox. And Joe, we're right back at your apartment here in New York City, like time travel. Like fucking time travel. You know, it's like we were here, then we went all the way down to Comedy Central, and now we're back. It's amazing. I swear to God, I don't know what it was about that Tony Fox thing, but it almost felt like we recorded that the other day, and then take the intro and the outro afterwards and splice it all together.
Don't even put that out there.
Don't even put that in my head,
Anybody
right?
think that we would ever do that?
We wouldn't. That's a crazy thing. All right, well, for hardcore fans of the show, you remember back in the day we had the monologue jokes. We had women who ruined porn.
Yeah, we had bits, Bill.
We had bits.
We had the show with a bit.
We had hooks.
We had a bit.
All right, so now we're gonna do. We got a new one that we're gonna come out here, and this is just something. Me and Joe were sitting here watching Netflix. You know, just a couple of guys hanging around watching movies.
Yes.
And I forget what movie we were watching, but I remember we were just going, what the fuck ever happened to that guy?
We were watching an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and Bill said, what the fuck happened with this guy, man?
Yeah.
He came out swinging, and then I said,
What did he do? He did make that movie with the kid who saw the dead
Sixth
people.
Sense.
6 Sense, and everybody's like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
That's like The Usual Suspects with a kid and Bruce Willis.
Yeah, there you go.
Amazing.
There you go.
And then it just
Slowly
what the
stair
fuck?
step down from there.
The last one I saw was the one with Wahlberg in it, where he was like, there's a house? Should we go in it?
Anthony.
And the guy laid on, by the time that guy laid down underneath the lawnmower, I wanted to spoon with him and let that thing ride over me. I remember in the middle of the movie, like a half hour into it, Nia just went, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we just sort of laughed the rest of the way. So,
It sucks. So this bit is called, He Came Out Swinging.
oh, they came out swinging, whatever. We were going to bring up people, I guess, in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Or I would love to do it in sports, too, where, like that Jamal Anderson, the dude used
So
to...
why we?
He did the Dirty Bird.
You know I can't jump in on this,
He
right?
went right to the Super Bowl. He had a hit dance.
Let's stick to things that we could both talk
Joe.
about. I can't.
Joe,
I got nothing
why
to
do
add
you
to
always
that.
have to pull the tampon out of your fucking ass?
That's like me
whenever I
going.
bring up
That's like me
sports?
going. Let's talk about a band that was on Discord Records in 1991.
Do
You
it.
would have no fucking idea what I
Do
was
it.
talking
I
about.
know I would, but I could fucking roll with it. Talk about a band. Talk about a band. Watch me roll with it. Oh, what band was that? Discord Records. You shitting me?
I can't think of a shitty band from back then, but you know,
Here's a good one.
here's a band I love. This is not part of He Came Out Swinging. I love this band. Fugazi, Bill. Man,
I know
when they
Fugazi
came out
is.
with Repeater +3, that was the shit,
They were
dude.
great.
Because they took the fucking EP that was in between 14 songs and Repeater.
Yeah, the
and then
industrial rock sound.
No, they didn't. See, you can't stick with this.
Yeah, but no, I can roll with it though.
You're not rolling with it. They didn't have
No,
an
but you can,
industrial
or you
rock
can
sound.
sit there and tell me about it, and I can
Why don't
fucking
we just do
listen
the
to
bit
it.
that we wrote?
How about you stop being such a
Why
cunt?
don't we just do the bit that we wrote? Look at all these names we agreed to
1,
talk
2,
about.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Joe, I threw out one guy. I wasn't going to talk about the fucking Super Bowl.
I like your balls a little bit about it. Right away you got fresh.
No, I didn't. I said bring up another band. I'm fucking rolling with it. Fugazi, my brother listened to Fugazi. I remember that. I remember he listened
Yeah?
to Fugazi. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Fugazi
Yeah,
album.
my cousin loved that Dirty Birdie, whatever his name was.
Joe, you could easily sit there and go, wait a minute, he did a dance after the Super. Yeah, these guys, they scored touchdowns, they did a little
Yeah,
dance,
what's fun with that?
and everybody, it would be a great time.
It's
You
fun
can
to
roll
break
with
your
it.
balls. Let's
You know
get
what it is, Joe? You like knowing shit.
It's not knowing shit. We said go. We're gonna work out this bit. Let's do the
Joe,
bit.
we're on our way. We're on our way into the bit, Joe.
Should we start this over again?
No, Joe. Half this show is us yelling at each other. This is how the show started. We used to drink. We would yell at each other in a bar. And people were like, you should fucking do
All
a
right.
radio show. Here's the magic.
This is. All right.
You fucking up, Joe. I'm gonna beat you with this
Well,
microphone.
I want to beat you with it because you know we only have 15 minutes and you're going off on a diversion
Okay.
here.
And Joe, we've done 423.
Yeah, and we got to get to another bit after this bit. So now we have 10 minutes to do 2 bits.
Joe, we can make this last as long or as short as we want. We're not on the clock.
I don't want it to be longer than 15 minutes. I want our listeners to have a nice chestnut of something here, and then they go, I want to listen to that again. Not 2 hours or whatnot.
Joe, we used to do 3-hour shows and they were fine with it. They were fine. They were fine, Joe.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
No, there was no big deal. Joe, all I did was I threw out another name because I was nervous because we only had 5.
In your Chuck Bill 5. We could talk about 3 of those, and it would take a half hour.
Joe, you could.
You could too. These are all your ideas.
No, they weren't.
This one was, that one was. That's 3 right there.
I know, but it's going to be over in 2 seconds. Joe, you know, look at, you watch movies, I watch sports. Dude, one of the guys you picked, I don't think is even right.
Then we'll argue about that instead of the sports.
Joe,
Joe, you're being a control freak right now.
I'm not being a
There you are.
control
You're
freak.
watching the clock and you're telling me what I should talk about.
Do you remember before you hit record, you said, I'm going to make sure we don't go over 15 minutes? You said that?
Yeah.
Because somebody
And
told
Joe,
us?
now we're 5 minutes in because you're being a cunt.
I'm not being a cunt. I said we got to do 2 minutes.
Joe, we're coming up on 6 minutes.
Let's not bring sports guys into it when I
You
can't
didn't
jump
say that.
in.
You didn't say that.
That's exactly what I said.
Joe, all I did was I riffed one guy, and then I thought you were going to jump in and then you say the next guy. That was all I did here.
All right. And
That's
I
all
fucked
I
with
did
you a little
here.
bit about it, and you freaked. I was fucking
No,
with
I
you a
gave
little
you
bit.
shit back. I said, take the tampon out of your ass, and people laughed.
And then I said,
you know they did.
And then I said the Fugazi thing, and you go, I could talk about that, and you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't. You sound like a guy that didn't know what he was talking about.
No, but I could sit there and listen to it. Joe, when I bring up sports and you don't know what you're talking about, it's funny. That's
All
actually
right.
a fucking bit on the show.
All right. Let's re-record this part.
No, we're leaving it all in.
Well, who's the control freak now? No, we're leaving it all in.
Joe, I already agreed to stop talking about sports. I've already agreed to keep it 15 minutes, and now you're telling me I gotta stop? When does it stop,
I was
Joe?
going to say we should redo it again, and then I'll roll with the sports
Joe,
thing for you.
bring up the next name, Joe. For the love of God, let's stick with the fucking... We've never mapped out the... Go ahead, Joe. Here's the next one.
We came out of it. Fugazi wasn't even part of this. We came out of it. They're still swinging, Bill. They're still swinging.
Fugazi is swinging at what?
They're an indie rock band, dude. They're fucking great. They have a huge cult following. They do very well for themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't you think they want to sell as many records as
No,
Britney
they don't,
Spears
actually.
wanted? Yeah, they don't want to be successful.
They don't. As a matter
They
of
don't.
fact,
They
as a matter
do
of
not
fact,
want to be successful.
they sink their own money back into Ticketmaster, so tickets to their shows are only $5 for their fans. They only sell their albums for $10
Yeah.
each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't want to be successful.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to let their fans.
They
get
should
fucked
change the name of their band to Self-Sabotage.
up. You're,
How about why don't they
you're a
why don't they
idiot.
change it to Need to Be Liked?
Yeah. No, that's what it is, Bill.
Yeah,
That's
they
what it
come
is.
out and put George Bush's head on his stick.
No, they don't, Bill, because you don't want to be like the fucking band. Like I
Joe,
said.
even though you're not enjoying this, listeners are.
Yeah. Oh, let's pander to everybody all the time and never be nice to each
Well, why
other.
don't we just pander to your sense of humor?
It's
Terrible those are 3 awful comebacks.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Huh?
those were your
That's
comebacks.
one. That was one.
Your ass. Ugh.
It's because you sound moronic. It's like schoolyard shit. You say things
Joe,
with no basis.
It's not like you asked me what 2 + 2 was and I said 5. You're talking about a band.
Yeah.
Okay, this is trivial.
And it would be
This
like
is
if I
trivial.
was you would have the same reaction if I was trashing an athlete. You would have the same reaction.
Joe.
And if I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about and trashing an athlete, you would be
Oh,
doing the
God.
same thing.
Joe,
You'd be going,
we
you're
do-
a fucking
Joe, we
idiot.
do the bit on the show. We do the bit on the show where I go, hey, Joe, the Super Bowl this year is the Green Bay Packers versus Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
What do you think? And then you go off on a thing, and it's funny.
You know what the difference is, though? I try to talk like a guy that's a fan. You're sitting here having a real opinion going, they stink. Oh, yeah, they don't want to sell records, really?
Back up. I went, they got that industrial sound, and you didn't laugh with it. You're like, see, you don't know what you're talking about. You went that route.
I really want to record this whole segment. I think this
I
went
don't.
completely off the rails.
I know.
We're not doing the bits.
Joe, don't be a whiny cunt.
I'm not being whiny.
Joe, this is fun. This is what we do. This is why we have a show.
All
Do
right.
you think they give a fuck about the bit at this point?
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
just laughing. They're laughing at 2 fucking cunts screaming at each other. They probably just made some more Jiffy
All
Bar.
right. He came out swinging. I'm not
This episode, this bit idea came out swinging. I'm not sure it'll ever dig on. Alright, we're right back in it, Joe.
We already covered it. We already
Rails, Big Crosby and Bob Hope.
Yeah, we're going to go down the list. Carl Weathers.
Alright,
Came out strong. A pop.
Wait, really? Yeah, okay.
The movie he was in before Rocky was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He plays an army guy that has 4 fucking lines. That's it. He walks on. Close Encounters came out in 77, for Christ's sake. That's right before Rocky
I
came
thought
out.
Rocky was 76.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, you know what probably happened was he
Shot that first?
shot that first. So when Rocky hadn't come out, yeah, by the time Rocky came out, that's right. Rocky comes out in 7. they were probably already shooting Close Encounters.
I like it.
Richard Dreyfuss.
I didn't see the whole thing. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Because I forget. I
Yeah,
didn't
we got
see
to the
it.
part where Richard Dreyfuss is throwing clay around and he's figuring out the flying saucer.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like, it seemed like there was a lot of talented people in it. It just didn't seem like there was much of a script.
You know what the funniest part is? You know what the funniest part is? Is him and the lady are the only are the only two people having the visions of that mountain. And he does that thing where he rips up all his neighbors' trees that are chicken wire, and his wife and whole family leaves him. The whole neighborhood just going, you're a lunatic. He's built that big thing in his house, and then he sees the mountain on TV, and he's like, that's where I gotta go. And then it cuts to the lady, and she sees it on TV, and you see behind her, she just has the mountain. And I just pictured them having a conversation of him being like, yeah, I was fucking ripping up my neighbor's trees. And I pulled it in my living room, and she's like, really? I just kind of sketched mine.
All I remember was like for years I wanted to see it. I remember when it came out. I'm old enough to remember when it came out, and everyone was talking about how fucking amazing it was. And when I finally saw it, I felt that it was. Well, I think maybe it was for kids. It's kind of like when I finally saw Star Wars, and I was like, what the fuck was that all about? Dude, I swear to God, every time I watch Star Wars, when they're in Arizona there, when they're at the beach, the sandy part,
Yeah.
dude, I fall asleep every time. I fall asleep. I like Empire, and the last time I was with the little bears, I hate that one.
Yeah, I don't like Jedi a lot.
Those are this screaming. And I always hated C-3PO.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Arrogant ass.
I got you. I
Yeah.
go with
Arrogant
you.
ass. All right, so Carl Weathers does
Which is
those.
exciting.
Now, after Carl, Carl Weathers, Carl Weathers was able to beat four when he gets killed by Ivan Drago.
You know, by the time he was still in the fourth Rocky, that was like Screech still being on Saved by the Bell in like the 12th season, when it was like they were so old that he was out of college and he was like teaching college kids. You know what I mean? They're like, kids,
He
just go. Everybody else moved on. You know?
They finally gave him his own vehicle. He did Action Jackson.
Craig T. Nelson.
You're gonna tell me Action Jackson was worse than Cobra? Those were all ridiculous movies.
Now,
I almost have to give him a pass because that was a black dude trying to be a fucking movie star outside of those stupid Shaft kind of movies. He was trying to get these.
they weren't making those movies anymore.
No. What I'm saying is, it still wasn't easy. It was like there was Eddie. Look, we have Eddie. Why do we need you, Carl? It was like all that classic shit that all those Def Jam comics used to complain about. Like they just would have one famous black guy at a time. They'd have Richard Pryor, and everybody else could go fuck themselves. And when Richard slipped, then they stuck in Eddie. He wasn't Predator, but that to me is more of like Rocky. I don't know about Carl Weathers because I don't think they ever gave him a shot.
All right, I'm tapping out. I'm giving you that one.
All right, I got one for
good.
you.
That's good.
They came out swinging. I'm going to go Heather Graham. She was an it girl. That's hard being the it girl. She came out roller girl. She showed her whole fucking tuft, everything. She was fucking, and they were just like, this girl is going to be the next, she's like Meryl Streep, but you want to fuck her. Isn't that what they said? They had it right up in the Billboard show?
Yeah, it said that.
Not in the red states. They couldn't handle it.
What's
in
her
the red
face said
states.
that? Martha Stewart said that. She had her on the show, and she said, this next girl is Martha Stewart. Took what a thing you had.
Yeah.
She said it just like that.
And then she put her apron over her head because she was embarrassed.
Yeah, and she started punching herself in the face.
So childish. Yeah, she came out swinging. I haven't seen her in movies since like 1999.
She's still in stuff, but like well, first of all, she's not a good actress. I feel bad saying that because she's so hot. She seems like actually a very sweet person, but she's not a good actress. So she was in.
I feel like she's reverse Sharon Stone, where Sharon Stone started off in the B shit and then got credibility and then got into some A stuff.
You know what?
She went the other way around.
I'm going to give Heather Graham a pass because Heather Graham is the female equivalent of Mark Wahlberg. She was great in Boogie Nights because that's all she could play is like, oh really? I can be great. You know, like some ditzy broad. And then when they tried to put her in shit where she wasn't supposed to be ditzy, she still sounded
What
ditzy.
else did they stick her in?
She was in that movie Bowfinger with Steve Martin. That was
remember
right
that.
after.
Yeah, but did they ever give her own star vehicle?
She had a sitcom for a little while, recently, that they came and went. She's done a lot of big parts. She's done a lot of independent things. She was in that Farrelly Brothers movie about the brother and sister that are like in love with each other, that like didn't make any noise at all.
Matt Damon's on the outside of the bus and he's connected to the other guy.
No, that's not my movie. But she's the Wahlberg equivalent. She's, you know.
Well, let me ask you this: what would you call somebody who is in the movie, and when they do the TV version of the movie, when 98% of the cast says "fuck that, I'm gonna keep doing movies," but they get someone who was in the movie to agree to be on the TV show? What is that called? Because I'm a sports guy, Joe. In your comic book superhero video game playing world, where you guys, you and Neil last night sat there. I had tap out watching the NFL draft at the pizza place, and you guys are going on and on about movies.
It's hard to just be failure. You're
Well,
lost.
I figured, you know, they got the jumping shark. I would figure that it was like, remember that one, that movie, I was going to say, not Square Pegs, what was the movie where they were like, that chick who was in Poison Ivy, she was in the Aerosmith video.
Alicia Silverstone.
Silverstone was in that, like, oh my god, you guys. Remember that movie?
Clueless.
Clueless, yeah.
Oh, then they did the TV show. One of the chicks was in the TV show too.
Stacey Dash?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. She's a piece of ass, dude.
So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but what do you say if they made a TV series of Boogie Nights? Who would be the one?
I mean, isn't that going down swinging? I mean, you were in the movie, and then shouldn't you be getting another movie? And then you can't, and then they turn the movie into a TV show.
Never do the TV show.
Ever. It never
No
works
matter how
out.
fucking broke you are.
Unless it's MASH. That's the only one that ever worked out.
Who was in the movie that was in the TV show? Harry
No, but I'm
Morgan?
saying MASH never worked out. Well, that was an Academy Award. I think that won Best Picture or something. They won some sort of Academy Awards. And then they made the TV show. Oh, came out swinging. Plain Stevenson.
But I'm saying,
Joe.
An Odd Couple too. Odd Couple was a hugely successful TV show. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the movie. I meet more people that are fans of the TV show than are of the movie, which I think is a little crazy.
I got one for you, Joe. Plain Stevenson.
What about
This
it?
is before your time. He was on the first season of MASH, and his reps told him he needed more money. He was too big for this shit. I thought this before.
Yeah.
He leaves MASH with like 2 other bucket people. Leaves.
Yeah.
Goes on to do a sitcom called Hello Larry, which was the name of his character. He just played a guy who had his own radio station in Seattle. A couple of kids and blah, blah, blah. I actually liked the show. It fucking tanked. And that was after they gave him another sitcom, and that one tanked. So he had 2 tanks. He ended up quitting MASH to be the fucking, the guy in the bottom row on the match game.
Jesus Christ.
Bill told Joe to stick that microphone in his blade.
Match Game and Hollywood Squares are perfect examples of the convergence of celebrity. It's people on their way up or people on their way down. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, it's so funny, man. Yeah, the Plain Stevens, great example.
There you go. Who's the next one, Joe? Let's stick with the bit. Who do we got next, Joe, coming out of the wire?
So next we got a guy named Go Fuck Yourself. I retract my opinion about this one. I want to take this one back.
We're up to 19 minutes, Joe.
All right, so let's try quickly. I initially said Dan Aykroyd, but I disagree. I like Dan Aykroyd a lot, and I respect him. And he did a lot of great shit. He just had a lousy run, but now they're doing Ghostbusters 3. I think he's going to swing back in again.
Yeah, I would say that he didn't come out swinging. He come out swinging and did SNL, and he never did anything else. But he came out SNL with great Trading Places. His problem was he said yes to fucking everything. At some point, Joe, when I'm drinking again, we are, whatever, I'll eat a fucking pot cookie. We have to sit down at some point and watch Dr. Detroit. The 2 most unforgiving things he ever did was Dr. Detroit and speaking in that falsetto in Caddyshack 2.
That does happen. Yeah. Get their testicles up to a car battery. That was the worst or best.
He came out He would blow on the way over to the set. No fucking question.
Best example of Bill Murray said no. You know, they did Rocky Dangerfield, jumped out of that at the last fucking minute. Bill Murray passed on it. The only one that went back, here you go, fucking, who goes back and does the TV version of the movie? Fucking Chevy Chase was the only one that went back.
I did the
And did Caddyshack too.
Was he funny in it?
He's the only redeeming part of the whole fucking
he's
movie.
fucking hilarious.
And
That
he's,
guy is fucking hilarious.
yeah, and even his part isn't that funny, but he's the only time you would laugh for when he.
Let's move on to the next one. Then this was my suggestion. Pretty much 98% of the entire cast of American Pie.
I ain't gonna go with the entire cast.
No.
One
The
guy.
guy played Stifler.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's
Stifler.
right. To do what he did in Old School alone.
Yeah. Stifler rules.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. But
Yeah,
everybody else, that Jason Biggs guy, I mean, Jesus, he was everywhere.
I love that guy.
They were comparing him to Tom Hanks.
God,
Where is he?
there's nothing we can do about it.
It was some real police bullshit.
Dude, he's going
He got
Tara
whacked.
Reid, man, fucking deep end.
Yeah.
What's her face? The hot one that was like, well, it was good for you on the internet. The fucking Elizabeth. The fuck was her name? Shannon Elizabeth. Fucking God, you're out of here.
She's a sweetheart too.
Who else? Oh, the kid, the jock kid that sings in the chorus by the end of the movie. Chris Klein.
I thought that was Russ Maneve. The dude who looked like Russ Maneve.
Yeah.
He never did
I
anything.
thought he was the next fucking, what's
The
his
next
name?
Johnny Bravo.
No, what's his name? He was the
So
next
you know
Bravo.
one of the great things about never really succeeding in life is you can have this conversation and no one can talk about you. Like, hey, whatever happened to me? How far down did I fall from I Love the 80s Strikes Back to doing a podcast?
Actually,
with dumbass?
one other person asked me very well, like fucking Allison Hannigan. Cause she left. Yeah, she left. She went on. She did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is a huge fucking show. Now she's on How I Met Your Mother.
I hope this doesn't come up mean spirited, Joe, because I want everybody. I hate seeing this. Like one of my favorite behind the music, I think, was Vanilla Ice because he still had his money. He was sitting poolside, everybody's laughing at him. At the end of the day, he had his fucking house and he was his fucking stuff. I hate seeing them when they're like, putting out billboards and painting houses, and then they just try to I'm at peace with it. I mean, I had a good time. It was fun while it lasted. I mean, I had more fun in those years, and But I mean, I'm running this internet company, and I like it. I like being in the business world. Like the show Larry Wilcox, after he did Chips, and he was fucking. He was like in Northern California running a business. John Baker.
Yeah, but was he like, hey, I just have to
He was.
I don't mind if they're
he was in
like-
a house, Joe. You and I could scrape money together and put a down payment on it. It was depressing. Eric Estrada, for as much as they gave him shit, he said, fuck it. I'll go to Mexico. Became a huge star there. Kept banging away.
Was he a big star in Mexico?
Huge.
Really?
Fucking huge.
I didn't know that.
Eric Estrada's got money.
Oh, shit, man.
Eric is fucking right. Mark Hagler said, fuck boxing. He went to Italy.
What did he do?
He became a fucking star. Made his money. He had his mob money for throwing the fight against Sugar Ray Leonard, right? Took that, and they said, listen, we'll give you this bag of money, just don't ever come back. He said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Went over there.
Bob, you're gonna feel a sting when you get to Italy.
All right, let's wrap up this other
That's
corner.
pride. Fucking with you. Come on.
What's
Let's
that?
do a Pulp Fiction reference of that.
What's that?
Your Bob, when you get to Italy, you're gonna feel a sting in the back of your neck. That's pride. Fucking. It's the fucking speech he gives.
I don't know.
Got it? Got it? Got it?
I remember. All right. Last thing, Joe. We're wrapping up here. I think it was a great episode.
Yeah,
It was a great
that's it.
episode. It was so fun. We had Tony Fox in the middle.
We got an
Little
argument.
argument in there.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the arguments.
All right. Folks, we're coming back. We're doing this again. Uninformed. It's going to be an hour 20 podcast,
Yeah.
whatever it is. We're bringing back the old bits. We're bringing back the
We're
guests.
going to be
It's
leaving
happening.
you one more. We'll give you one last thing. Joe, hold it. What's keeping you out of heaven? What's the matter?
I thought we should have ended it there. I thought we ended good.
I thought we had it great. Let's fuck it up. What's keeping you out of heaven?
Let's give you another. Bill, I talked about this very briefly on the O&A show, and I won't give too many details, but I recently on the road got a blowjob and had my asshole fingered by a lovely. I really did like her. I had a great time with her. And then the next morning, she got up at 7 a.m. and she goes, I gotta go pick up my kids. And I was like, I could feel the fire and smell the brimstone, Bill. That was it.
Wow.
You're going to, I just pictured her licking, you know when your kid has like chocolate on his face, and I pictured her licking her thumb to wipe the chocolate off his face, and then knowing that the next finger over was in my poop.
Jesus Christ, Joe, we really should have ended. Well, open you working at Tell
Let's just cut this out. Edit this part out. We don't need to do another bit.
Okay. All right, you know what I'll do? No, just shut it for a second.
Oh, jeez.
No, because I'm going to cut this out. Just have a pause.
Yeah.
Edit this and I'll do the end.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so that's it. That's the end of Uninformed. We're going to start doing these again. I know we keep saying that shit, but you got to hang in. You got to believe us. You know, as much as we're being cunts, we're not as bad as Axl Rose. All right? We'll see you.
Years. The last time we did one, Jesus fucking
George Bush
Christ.
was still in office.
Yeah, we were in, I think I was featuring for you at a club. That's how long ago it was. You were still doing clubs and I was still opening for you.
And I was still in New York.
Yeah.
Was I in LA?
Yeah,
That
barely.
gives a fuck.
Like a
You know
year.
what, Joe?
Yeah.
You got a very special microphone, and I got this shitty one. I don't
No.
know how yours is in like that.
That's the better one.
Who are those guys who dress up like spacemen and they do the disco music that you can't stand?
Oh, Daft Punk?
Yeah,
I like Daft Punk.
No, you got the Daft Punk. Oh, I thought you said you didn't like them because I thought they were good.
I don't like that last album they did. It was too like disco-y. I didn't like it. I like the first two albums.
Really
though.
disco-y. They were in the future, Joe. They were dressed like R2-D2.
It sounded like who was the lady that sang
Florence Anderson.
"Love Me There, Baby"?
Oh, Linda McCartney. Donna Summer.
Donna Summer. It sounded like Donna Summer to music. Ding, 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 ding. I got to better go down.
They're bringing it back, Joe.
I didn't like it.
Joe, once in a while you got to bring it back. Whatever you're doing, you just bring it back. Bell bottoms. I'm bringing them back.
Bring them on back.
Well, Joe, if you could bring something back, what would you bring back?
Oh,
Joe, if you could go back to the deep, richest.
You know what I would bring back?
Huh?
You know what I bring back?
Bottle of Makers. I'd bring
bring back. I really miss when McDonald's had those styrofoam boxes for the burgers. I really enjoyed it. It felt like more of an event when it came in the styrofoam thing.
And I was just wadded up in that piece of paper.
Yeah, now it's just a piece of paper. It's all shitted up in there. And I loved when they had the McDLT where the one side was hot and the other side was cold, and you put them together. I would bring back the McDLT. That's what I'd bring back. And that giant...
I liked all of their sandwiches for the most part, but that McDLT was a whole bunch of hype over nothing. It was like a high energy comic with no joke.
They were
just up there like, well, what am I shit? Screaming and yelling with nothing behind it.
I was like 11 when that came out, so that's all I needed to see was that long box that you could that was like a transformer where you put the burger together
the
yourself.
Hot side hot and the cold side cold.
Yeah, it was awesome. They said Refrigerator Perry doing the commercials. Remember that?
Yeah, it was like 85.
Yeah,
86.
He'd eat like 6 of them or something.
Dude, you know, he was only like 300 pounds, like 302, 305 or something like that. Now entire offensive lines are weighing, averaging like 318, 320. They're getting bigger, Joe. They're getting faster.
Was he built or was he just fat?
He was like 6'1", 300 pounds. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I don't know. Back then, when I was growing up and you looked at football cards, like, and a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman was like 275, 280.
Right.
And then a linebacker was anywhere from 235 to 250, and everything moved up. Then all of a sudden, like...
Well, wait a minute. Slow down. Perfect front-end form. What's a linebacker? What does that mean? I understand defensive line and the German line.
You're looking at them, they're lined up. You got the guys who are looking like they're going to imitate dogs.
Yeah.
And they're all on their all fours. That would be a defensive lineman.
Right.
Or an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Okay. And then behind the defensive lineman, the guys standing up, who don't look quite as big as the guys pretending to be dogs, but they're bigger than the guys standing behind them. Those are the linebackers.
I get it. They're backing the line.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's what that. Okay.
I never even thought of that. They back the line. I have no idea.
Are you kidding?
I don't even know what that means.
They're like the backup for the line.
Back up for the line. And then you got your corners. They're on the side. Then you have your safety, Joe. Like, oh shit, he got through the defensive line. The linebackers backing up the line. The corners, they don't have the right angle. Then you got your safety. This is the final fucking guy. Turn your key, right?
Right.
If this guy blows it, Joe, it's over. And
Okay. So what's the safety do? He's like the last ditch effort, like the ejector seat guy?
Yeah, he basically, you know, if there's a guy who's really good at, catching the ball there, and there's already somebody covering him, he usually comes over. He covers over the top.
All right.
Underneath, and he's over the top, and then right in the middle, like the patty on the McDLT. He's keeping the cold side cold, and the other guy's right in his fucking armpit trying to block him, so he's keeping the hot side hot.
Now, who are your Super Bowl picks for this year?
Joe, I'd have to go with the St. Louis Cardinals
Uh-huh.
and the Kansas City Royals.
Great teams.
Great teams.
Great teams.
Very physical.
I know that those are baseball teams.
Oh, okay. Who are my picks, Joe? I don't fucking know. I've been so goddamn busy I can barely even watch the Patriots. I still haven't. I know they beat the Chargers this week, but I haven't seen the game. I did tape it though.
Patriots have a strong line this year.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They have a strong line of backers too.
They do. They do. I like the way the Patriots play. I have always liked it. I've always liked it. They're what you call a charging team.
Did you know all their players are from Vermont?
All their players are from Vermont.
Vermont. The only team in the NFL where all the players are from Vermont.
Yeah, they call their line the Snow Show because everybody's from Vermont. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they call it. It's snowing outside. That's what they say
then they run
when they
along
blitz
them.
in. It's snowing outside.
And they'll do a shot of maple syrup. You know there's a massive heroin problem in Vermont? You'd never know that.
There's a massive heroin problem everywhere.
Everywhere.
I have a friend whose nephew died of a heroin overdose recently.
Yeah, I think everybody knows somebody. I know 2 people in the last year got
It's coming. It's like really like back.
bringing it back, Joe. See, what they
Bringing it
should have
back.
done was bring back the styrofoam fucking things there for the McDLT. And what do they do?
They bring
back heroin.
instead.
You know why that is, Joe? Because we went over there and we wiped out the fucking Taliban. And we drove those hairy guys right into the mountains. And then all the farmers were just like, well, shit. Those guys are gone. Let's fucking start making some poppy seeds again.
Yeah.
And then they go around, they slit them, and they ooze it all out there. And then they sell it for like $3 to some fucking, drug pin guy.
The highest selling drug of all time
Is what?
heroin. Most people think it's cocaine
And
or
what-
marijuana.
At what part of your life, Joe, are you going to finally try it? At what point would you feel safe enough to be like, what the fuck, I'm old anyways? You know, wasn't there a movie about a guy who did heroin late in life?
I don't know. Like 77 maybe?
I think it was the Freaky Friday. Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Freaky Friday?
Yeah, Freaky Friday. It's a
Something
Disney
like that.
movie. Then they do heroin, they switch bodies. You know what I mean?
He's like, oh, Ron, you got it easy. You're not doing heroin, and I got to go to school and take a spelling bee. So then Christy McNichol's like, all right, you little cunt. You want to switch places?
Here's what I
Gives her
want
an
to do.
uppercut to the jaw.
Here's what I want to do. I want to make one of those body switch movies, but the kid switches with his dad, and then he's got to fuck his mom when he's in the dad's. When he's in the dad's
Make a
body.
weird porno.
I think that would be hilarious. You know,
I think it'd be gross.
finds out his mom's a fucking like whore. She's out of control. He sees this whole filthy side of her.
Jesus, Joe.
He never actually bangs her. He just, you know, he's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna. It's like in Back to the Future when his mom's like coming on to him because she doesn't know.
Oh
What's
yeah, well then they already did it.
Yeah,
Michael J. Fox never actually banged her.
you got a good point. He had to. He was supposed to grab her boobs though. That was like the thing. He was gonna get fresh with her. So the whole point was he was gonna get fresh with her. So.